Hey guys, and welcome to this episode of Review Flicks. In this video, we're going to be talking about behind-the-scenes Marvel executives, talking specifically about bringing back the 6 original Avenger characters, and it looks like they want to swap out Kang for Doctor Doom. So guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, stay up to date with all the movie news we have going on around here, and with that down, let's jump into this movie news. So guys, we're going to take a look at this article here from comicbookmovie.com. Marvel Studios has considered bringing back the original 6 Avengers and replacing Kang with Doctor Doom. So Marvel Studios is aware that the multiverse saga isn't quite working and has started mulling over various alternatives, including the return of the original Avengers and swapping out Kang for Doctor Doom. Yeah guys, so it's no secret that obviously Marvel has had a very hard time recently with their projects, not just on the big screen, but also, on their streaming service, Disney+. The quality and the consistency of the earlier phases of the MCU just hasn't been there. And critics and audiences alike just haven't been on board with the multiverse saga as much as they were with the Infinity Saga. And it looks like there's been behind-the-scenes talks with executives on how they can rectify the issues at Marvel, and bringing back the original 6 Avengers and replacing Kang for Doctor Doom looks like one of their solutions to fixing the problems. Whether that could work or not, guys, let's continue reading on with the article and see what it has to say. So, since the release of the Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home in 2019, Marvel Studios has struggled to recapture the Infinity Saga's magic. There has been lots of very well-received projects. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, that was a good movie, guys. Loki and the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, for example. And some which have disappointed fans. Look no further than Secret Invasion. Yeah, guys, Secret Invasion was, it was going to be this kind of thriller, spy, intrigue kind of TV show, and it looks set to be something really cool. Obviously, Samuel L. Jackson in there, pretty much anything he's in, he always elevates the material, and it was set to look to be really fun, as I say, thriller TV show. And it came out and it just bombed, and people just didn't like it. Nobody got on board with it, and it just ultimately flopped on its face, which was a shame, guys. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, also, it kind of leaned into the silly, goofy kind of multiverse. I think it lost a lot of people. It just kind of confused a lot of the fans, and people just weren't on board with it. And it's a shame because the Ant-Man, the Ant-Man franchise with Paul Rudd playing Ant-Man, he's a delightful character. He's really charming, and he's a great character. And it's a shame that that movie also fell on its face. But this is the state of Marvel at the moment, unfortunately. So the pandemic didn't help matters. Neither did pressure from Disney to bolster their theatrical and streaming offerings amid significant financial losses. We've already seen Marvel Studios make moves to get back to where they need to be, including going back to the drawing board with Daredevil Born Again. However, Variety reports that more sweeping changes could be coming to the multiverse saga. Yeah, guys, just on a side note, for those of you who may not know, obviously Daredevil was on the Netflix platform. It's now coming over to Disney+, and they're doing Daredevil Born Again. And they were halfway through filming the first season, and they've gone back and retooled, the entire show basically, because they didn't like what was happening with the show. They fired the writers and, the cast and crew. Well, not the cast, sorry, but they fired the writers and the showrunners. And, they've gone back to retool the show basically back to more in line what it was for the Netflix show. So there's more problems with Marvel than it seems, guys. They want to right the ship by replacing Kang with Doom, and, they've gone back and retooled Daredevil Born Again. So it seems like there's problems across the board, and they're kind of at panic stations, and they're trying to do everything they can to bring the quality back to the Marvel franchise. And man, it seems like there's a lot of issues going on with Marvel at the moment. So according to the trade sources, there have been talks about bringing back the original 6 Avengers for a new Avengers movie. I'm not sure how they would do that though, because what if the original actors don't want to come back and play the Avengers? Obviously, Black Widow's dead as well, so I don't know how you'd bring back Black Widow. All the characters are I'm not sure. I just don't know how that would work, because what if Chris Evans doesn't want to come back? What if Robert Downey Jr. doesn't want to come back as Iron Man? Are they going to recast the roles but have the original Avengers characters? Or are they going to keep the same actors in the roles as well? Are they going to be multiverse? Is it going to be a Captain America, but a different Captain America from a different universe? Or is it going to be Chris Evans playing Captain America like he was before? So it's not really specific on that, guys. But according to the source, there have been talks about bringing back the original 6 Avengers for a new Avengers movie. That would include Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. Okay, so it does say. So it does say, guys, so they would bring back all the original actors to play all the original roles from the 2012 Avengers movie. So that would be kind of cool. The studio hasn't yet committed to the idea, The studio hasn't yet committed to the idea. And money could be an issue, given how expensive some of those actors, mostly Downey, are likely to be. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? As actors continue to play the same role, for every subsequent film or, TV episode that they're in, you have to pay them exponentially more amounts of money. And, that's obviously a factor. And as I say, maybe the actors don't want to come back. A lot of the Marvel actors have been talking about, how they've, moved on to other projects and other things. And, we don't even know if they want to come back to play these roles. So it'd be great if they did, don't get me wrong. Everybody loves these actors in these roles. But trying to get them to come back and trying to pay them a reasonable amount for them to come back, would it happen? Who knows? So when it comes to Jonathan Majors' ongoing legal issues, and what this means for Kang the Conqueror as the multiverse saga's big bad, it seems Marvel Studios has been considering moving away from the character regardless of any courtroom drama. It gave people a pause, given that Quantumania didn't exactly land. An unnamed source reveals recasting is a possibility, but at a recent gathering in Palm Springs, executives discussed backup plans, including pivoting to another comic book adversary like Doctor Doom. For now, though, it appears the spotlight will have to remain on Kang. One insider who has seen the Loki finale tells the trade Marvel is truly fucked with the whole Kang angle, and they haven't had an opportunity to rewrite until very recently because of the WGA strike, but I don't see a path to how they move forward without him. In other words, don't expect the episode to introduce a new big bad or take Kang off the table. Yeah, so obviously we've got Loki Season 2, which is currently airing at the moment. Kang is very much intertwined with what's going on in Loki. So for them to replace Kang with another big bad villain like Doctor Doom, it's going to seem very jarring and knee-jerking for the audience, because we've kind of been hearing rumblings about what's going on with Kang, and Loki is beginning to kind of unveil that mystery of what's going on with Kang, and then to have that kind of yanked out from underneath us and then Doom put on in front of us, that would be kind of strange. We'd be like, well, what's going on with Kang? What happened? Why did we start building that up only to kind of it fizzle out? And it might be really confusing. So the actual solution of swapping Kang out might become an even bigger problem for the audience. But that's kind of where the writers come in. That's what they get paid for, to come up with these solutions on how to fix it, how to make it gel with the audience. And what would you guys think about that? About having Kang swapped out for another villain. Would you be all for it, or would you prefer them to continue the course with Kang? I'd be interested to know what you guys think about that. So, in other words, oh no, we already read that. Also troubling on the Majors front is the fact that he started developing a bad reputation even before his arrest for alleged domestic violence. This report notes that his former agency, CAA, is said to have dropped him for his brutal conduct towards staff. Again, guys, obviously there's all this courtroom drama going on with Jonathan Majors, who's obviously the actor for Kang. And there's been, reports saying that he's hard to work with, that he's aggressive and all this kind of stuff. Obviously, he's in court about domestic violence. We don't know if he's innocent or guilty yet. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. That's the way it works in a, democratic society. So we can't make any comments on that. Obviously, we hope he's innocent. We don't want anyone to be harmed or hurt for any reason. Domestic violence is obviously not a good thing. And hopefully Jonathan Majors can get his acting career back on track, even if he's not going to continue playing Kang, because he's a fantastic actor. He's absolutely great. Some of his films are amazing. And let's hope he is proven innocent, guys. So Marvel Studios can bounce back from this, but doing so may lead to sweeping changes to the multiverse, which will completely change the current state. We've heard there are already discussions about ditching the Kang Dynasty as the title of the next Avengers movie, though any official announcements could be a while off yet. Stay tuned for updates. So yeah, guys, that's kind of what's been going on with Marvel recently. So it looks like there's reports of behind the scenes of executives talking about swapping out Kang for another big bad, especially with all the courtroom drama going on around Jonathan Majors, like we already said. But whether that might actually happen or not, we honestly don't know at this point. It could be a long way off, like it says in the article about hearing of this news. But if they did swap out Kang for another big bad from the Marvel Universe, it doesn't necessarily have to be Doctor Doom, guys, but what would be your pick for the next big bad for the MCU? Like, who do you think could replace Kang and be a really decent villain? Obviously, Thanos is already off the table because we've already had him. So if you had to choose, who would it be? Would it be like Galactus or somebody like that? Or do you think that's too much of a bigger threat? Like, Yeah, I just love to know your thoughts on that, guys. So let's go down and read some of the comments, if there's any comments here. Oh yeah, there is. So, not a bad decision. Honestly, Kang isn't really doing it for me. Yeah, that's the thing, wasn't it? In, Ant-Man Quantumania, Kang, he was okay, but he didn't come across as a big kind of universal threat like Thanos did. Ant-Man kind of bested him in a fight as well, so you're thinking, well, if Ant-Man can pretty much take him on, just him, then he's not really an Avengers level threat, is he? That's what a lot of people thought. The rumor on several versions of it has been regurgitated constantly. They kind of should just stay the course. Okay, so here, number one, you're already printing the output. Good overextension is what brought us here. Just recast Kang. All variants don't have to look alike. The audience needs to understand that Kang is not Thanos. He's not a nihilist. He's a nuisance. He's never ending. That's the threat that needs to be explained. Secret Wars should just be the Doom swap point. If they want to do that, introduce Doom early. He helps the heroes in Kang Dynasty, and last minute swipes the gauntlet or whatever MacGuffin is being used and does the battle world shit. The panic move would definitely create this whole thing. I don't know if people would get annoyed with that. If you introduce Doom at the beginning of the Kang Dynasty Avengers, and then by the end of it, he just kind of, becomes the big bad, just like, it's kind of like a plot twist. I don't know if people would get annoyed with that, because you set up Kang to be the big bad, only for Doctor Doom to come in and then kind of swap it over. I'm not sure how people would feel about that, guys. Exactly. Doom stepping in to deliver the killing blow to Kang, only for him to create a battle world he could rule simply. A battle world he could rule sounds very plausible. Also, I really want to see a nihilist, perfect villain to bring together the cosmic side of the MCU, in my opinion. They would be running from the mess they made faster than you could remind people Kang was beat by ants. Yeah, that's true. Funny that they would take their time to discuss this, but didn't take their time to come up with a solid plan and rules of how the multiverse time traveling works before the saga started, let alone an interesting storyline to connect the dots. Yeah, that's been one of the big things, the overall arching narrative of the latest phase of the MCU. It doesn't seem that the movies all connect in a cohesive way. People don't know where the story's going. What is the story? What are we leading up to? And I think that's been people's biggest kind of rife with the latest MCU phase. Like, we don't know where it's going. We don't know where it's leading. Who are the main players going to be? Who's the main big bad going to be? What's the overall story? What are we building to? And it seems that people are lost and they don't know where it's going. And I think that's been the biggest frustration with a lot of the audience. No, introduce Doom in Fantastic Four. Where would you even go with Doom after Secret War? We'll read a couple more here, guys. Kang can be a reoccurring secondary big bad if they want. I mean, he kind of already is. Doom as the new endgame can work, especially since he's already more of a puppet master, seeing everything behind the curtain kind of villain. And then we've got a comment saying knee-jerk much. Yeah, so that's one of the things that DC suffered from, a lot of guys having a knee-jerk reaction. You put out a movie, and then when the audience respond negatively or not negatively to something, and you kind of course correct at a 90-degree angle. So you swap everything out. Oh, this didn't work. So swap this. This didn't work. And then when you do a knee-jerk reaction, you keep swapping stuff out constantly. That's when you have really different shifts in tones of movies, and things don't seem to make sense and they don't gel because you're just constantly swapping directions depending on what did and didn't work. And it confuses people. The tones are different, and it just kind of messes up the whole kind of vibe of what's going on. But yeah, guys, so that's kind of where we are. So it looks like Marvel Studios may or may not have had behind the scenes talks about swapping out Kang for Doctor Doom and bringing back the original 6 Avengers, although I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest with you. I think we will see some of those characters. I think we'll see Captain America, Chris Evans' Captain America, and Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. I think they will be back at some point, definitely. I think that's 100%, they're going to be back. But whether all 6 Avengers will be back in the same movie with Doctor Doom, I think that's highly, improbable from my perspective, guys. But let me know what you think about this news. And like I said, guys, if you could swap out Kang for another big bad villain, who would it be and why? I'd love to hear your comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you soon.